Oh, man. Welcome back to the gray space. And we got another good one for you guys this week.
Come on, man. It's been a while. We got to introduce ourselves. It's been so long. We got to introduce ourselves again, man.
I'm Zeke. That is Dre.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got another fire one. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Mm-hmm. Make sure you subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like. And use your fingers. Comment if you rocking with the content now. You know what I'm about to do.
Go into it, man.
You ready?
Get into it. Yeah.
You know it's special. This one's special.
This is
you know
special.
what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
These two gentlemen are not only past guests of ours, they are both an inspiration and people we consider fortunate to be friends now. There needs to be awarded winning show. Needs to be awarded. So at some point in the future, you know what I'm saying? Just Give Me 5 combines great interviewing with deep storytelling, highlighted by superb backdrops. You see where I'm going with this? And scenery, while providing simplicity. A brotherhood turned business, these two have cornered and perfected the art of turning a vision into a masterpiece. From rappers and beat makers to pioneers and risk takers. Dreamers to realists, their story is only getting started, and we are going to dive into the last 2 years of this amazing journey they have encountered. Please welcome Dave Miranda and Jimmy Nelson of Just Give Me 5 to the great space. What's up, fellas?
Hey, what Bill? Man, I need that intro all the time. Right? I felt like that was a documentary right there.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
There was one man.
Right. Hey, man, I do it in the mirror, man. I try to rehearse it.
That was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful, man.
Thank you, man. How you guys been,
We're
man?
doing great, man. We're blessed, man. Thank you for having us over, man.
Yeah,
of course.
Good to see you guys again. And, you know, obviously, man, we stay tapped into everything you guys are doing, the consistency, the work, the shirts, you know, the billboards, the donuts. It's crazy.
We got a lot of things.
It's crazy, you know, looking back to our individual interviews with you guys, and what has transpired since then. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. The guests have only gotten better. Not that they were bad. It's just this getting better. The stories are getting better. I think as people start to watch and as people start to, you know, even as guests start to get tapped into what you guys are doing, they're a little bit probably more prepared and to come on and really talk. You know what I mean? And as we know in this business, it's hard to get people to just talk. You got sometimes you got to pull at them. You got to pull at them.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
And I think that as time has went on, you know, you guys have been able to get people to what started out as a very short segment for most of the episodes. People are really diving into stories a lot more and almost answering probably questions that you already had. And you're like, oh, I got to change the question up. You know what I mean? You took a question away from me. So,
Right.
And you guys are coming up on the 2-year anniversary, which you guys are celebrating December 10th.
Correct.
And we're definitely going to pull up, man. Definitely want to, you know, rock with you guys, man.
Nice, man. Appreciate that.
And, you know, I'm so happy for you guys. So first of all, let's kind of go back a little bit. I don't want to go too far back, but the last year, how has this been for you? Because you guys interviewed, I mean, it's not just hip hop guys no more, man. When you guys had, what's his name from the news, man?
Javier Soto.
Yes, man. Like that was a crazy dope interview, and a great interview.
Right. Yeah,
talk to us like what's been going on since then, man.
Oh man, I mean it's just progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, from something that started. I mean, I can't believe that it's already coming at 2 years because I mean it just flies. I mean, we started December 12th of 2020. You know, and it was like in the midst of hell. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, everybody was just. It was just like gloomy, you know what I'm saying? It's like the weather outside, in a negative way, right?
Right.
And it was just like, man, you know, just to see that, you know, we took a shot, took a chance, made it, you know, just roll the dice, said, hey, man, like we're just gonna, you know, let's just see what happens. And to see from then till now, I mean, you know, everybody that we've gotten, and yes, like the guests that have upgraded, you know, it's just been a blessing, man. And it's crazy because it's beautiful because it's like, you know, when we first designed this, it's like I had to hit up guests, you know, whether it be like Instagram, maybe a Facebook, maybe just a connect from somebody else, right? and it was like I had to really explain, like, a buddy of mine have a show. It's called Just Give Me 5. We're interested if you would like to be a part of it. We feel that you would be great. Da da da. I don't even hardly have to do that anymore.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that just shows the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and you guys have obviously, what I think is dope is you guys have always been willing to kind of, for the look of the show, go different places. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of a unique thing that you guys do, because you guys have been able to go to, parts of Phoenix outside. You know what I'm saying?
That's him right here.
And it's dope. It's
right
so
here.
different than, I think people do a disservice, not in no disrespect, because obviously we are a podcast of sorts, right? But they really do a disservice to your guys' show, because it's not a podcast. It's a one-on-one interview, right?
Yeah.
That's done in multiple locations. It's not really done in the studio. I mean, very few of them have been done in studios, right? Like,
Exactly. And that's what I tell people. Like, it's not, when they're like, yeah, you have a podcast. But I think it's because podcasts are such the norm now.
Right.
So if anything that involves an interview is considered a podcast,
and
right?
Calling it an episode, people kind of
Right, exactly. But if you go back to, 2019, when the original idea was to shoot a documentary on the scene,
right.
Fast forward, when you start to look at the episodes, at the show, they look like mini docs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we kept that mindset in the creative mind, of it. So to have it go with that aspect of having that kind of feel still.
Right.
Have you ever thought of like somewhere down the road of like, man, tweaking it, because for whatever reason, because we're all kind of perfectionists in the sense of doing this over and over again, and you're like, should we change this? Is this like, for better viewership reasons or whatever, for whatever reason.
I think we've kind of figured out what works and we stick with the consistent thing. But I was one thing I noticed is like, we have 5 questions. They kind of start with the general same thing, but Dave kind of draws more out of them in the interviews now, where he'll kind of jump in and speak on something and ask a question about it. And then I've kind of switched it up too, because normally I wouldn't really edit things or whatever, but now with it jumping around like that, I can kind of edit it in a way to make it all go together. And then it's kind of good, because sometimes guests get caught up in answering a question very literally and straightforward.
Yes.
And Dave gets stories out of them. Which is
absolutely.
what we're going for.
Because that's what it'll be. It would be like, so if you have somebody on and, maybe it's just like a real short, straightforward, response. And it's like, okay, well, let's see if we can get a little bit more out of this. Yeah. So going off of my general knowledge of the guests that we have, going off of in a sense too of like wherever they finished off, it's like picking up where it's like, well, what about that time? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because and a lot of them appreciate that too, especially because you're doing the research, you know what I mean? And it's like they feel like they're in good company. And it's like, and then it'll take them back to where some of them are like, God, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God, that's right. Yeah. You remember that. You know what I mean? Or something, and then you're just getting more out of it, because it's all about the stories, man. Yeah. Like that's what makes it, man. Yep. You know what I mean? So you don't, that's why the questions generally, contain to what they, what their background is and what they've done, what they're responsible for. It wasn't going to be like, what's your favorite color? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you want to have something where they can give an in-depth response, but some people have, because you don't even realize this till you do a show like this, right? Like it kind of stumbles me sometimes to come across some of the guests where they're just like camera shy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is true.
100%.
I mean, I've in Tone's voice, respectfully, I've respectfully had people decline that I really want to get on the show, and they're just like, I love it, Dave. Thank you so much. I'm honored that you would ask that, but I just don't do good in front of the camera. Yeah. I'm a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, but just know that I reached out, and like, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking of you. Don't think I forgot. You know what I mean?
How has that process been for you as far as growing in this space, in the interview world, the media world, so to speak, right? Because, you know, you guys are both obviously musical background.
Right.
You're used to being, you know, you guys are used to the roles that you play now, but in different spaces, right?
Yeah.
Like you're used to
right.
performing.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and I remember you said, like, in the beginning, it was like you didn't really want to say much. And like you just said, he's now starting to jump in a little bit more to get them like, okay, let's go, let's get the story. So how have you adapted with that?
Because, well, see, naturally, man, like I just have an outgoing personality.
Right.
Man. It's just genetics. I get it from my mom and my father, mainly my father. But like, you know, for me, just to have conversation like that, it's just really not a problem. But I was still learning the ropes of doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because I can have general conversations with people all the time, and it's just, you know, it's if we're just going. But when you're on a camera, you know, I had never done this before, so I'm just literally just kind of like letting people answer. Mm-hmm. I'm just being a really good listener.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
for sure.
And so then it was like, you know, I was like, no, there needs to be more interaction. Like I feel like I could get more out if I start doing that. And it helps them become more at ease as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you get somebody that is camera shy, or they were a little bit nervous, a lot of them are. You know what I mean? And it's just, but I, you know, I always let them know ahead of time, because some of the people, got to remember, you know, the people that we're getting on the platform, they're not up and coming people.
Right.
So they're not that young 23-year-old
Right.
kid who's on the grind. He's
Right.
he's dropping mixtapes. He's coming up.
On
He's
Instagram
full of
every day,
life. He
yeah.
wants to be seen everywhere. We're not getting that. We're getting individuals who are retired, you know, but there was a time, you know what I'm saying? And that maybe or just aren't necessarily even doing that anymore. They're in a different field. They've stepped away from the camera life,
Right.
from the attention, and we're bringing them back to that. So, you know, and so understandably, it's like, yeah, you know, like some of them can be a little uncomfortable at first, but once they see that it's just us two, you know, because some people would be like, damn, I thought you guys had like a big crew. Like, that's why I was so nervous. You know what I mean? I thought I was going to walk and have like 7 people around me or something. And I'm like, that would make me nervous. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm like, no, like, it's just Jimmy and I.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then they just see, and sometimes little James, his son, he's the CEO.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah, we're just paying rent in his world.
Okay.
And so, but you know what I mean? So they would see us there, and it just develops like a certain amount of ease. And then once we start going and conversing, it just becomes natural. And they after like the first question, everyone's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I got this.
Right.
I get it now. You know what I mean? They're like, this is good. Let's
Right.
And then you could see it. You see it in their facial expressions, their eyes. Because the eyes is the main thing. So you just see it in everything. Like you see the joy. And you start bringing about it back a time. You know, like when we had Tiffany J on the show, and she was talking about, you know, when they started the flavor unit out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With Power 92, bro. Like, that was huge. Her and Little Sean, you know what I'm saying? Bruce St. James, you know, we had him on. It's like he's responsible. So everybody, it's like this 6 degrees of separation amongst everybody. And they appreciated, the radio personalities appreciated the most, I feel, because they're the ones who do the interviews. No one ever wants to interview them.
Right.
So when they get on, they're just like, man, thank you so much. Like, it's just this enormous amount of gratitude because they, you know, they're like, no one cares about us.
Yeah,
like,
in the background.
we do all the interviews on people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who wants to know about us, our story?
Yeah.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
You know?
I do find it interesting though, because I think we've all kind of probably seen it, right? That
Right.
Where people will come in and you're like, why are you nervous? Like you get up on stage, like you know, it's going through my head, like
Right.
and it's so weird because I think there's a couple reasons, but I think the main thing too is because we're a free flowing like conversation. Like they don't know. I don't know if you guys give them the questions beforehand or not.
Some I do.
But some people don't. They don't know. So I think it's the unexpected.
Right.
Of,
the
you know,
unknown.
like. Please don't ask me a gotcha question. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Or
and
like try to
that's-
throw me under the bus or whatever.
Absolutely,
you know?
absolutely, and that's what I've had, you know, and I've had to, not had to, but I've just done it on my, you know, on my own. But it's just, I've always felt like that you know, especially people that like maybe they aren't familiar with the show, you know, and like even like A-list, like, I mean, like, you know, we had like Pierre, Edwards on the show.
Yeah,
you know, we
that
had
was
Master
dope.
Ace. You know what I'm saying? You know, so even like those individuals, it's like I'm notifying them and letting them know, like, this isn't for clickbait. We're not trying to get you to. This isn't Vlad TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to get you to say something incriminating. I'm not Adam 22. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just love, man. Like, it's genuine love. Like, it's just giving you your flowers and you telling your story, but highlighting the great moments. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there were some dark times during those and you want to share those, that's fine. But that's not going to be the main question. That just happens to be a topic that you thought of and we're like in mid conversation, we're like, yeah, I think I'm going to share this part because it still had to do with this story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like I'm not into that stuff, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, and I just, because especially people that, you know, like the vets, man, like the OGs, it's like you guys were around at a time that inspired me, that inspired everyone, you know, under you. Right. So all I want to do is just give love, man. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just and your story, your background is so fascinating. You know, there wouldn't be this if it wasn't for you being around at that time. It wouldn't be this so and so if it wasn't for you. You know what I mean? So you're getting these people on. All you can do is just let them shine the best way possible.
Exactly. And I excuse me. I think that I want to touch on something you said earlier, and this kind of will transition to Jimmy a little bit. Two things that you said. The first thing is that you think that there's this big film crew, and I know there isn't. And every time I watch it, I'm like, I know it's 10 people behind Dave somewhere. But the feel of it, and I think that's what's been so great with the vision of it, right? Like when you watch it and the different locations and the shots and the backdrops. And then, like you said, I think that lends to, it doesn't feel like a Vlad TV. It doesn't feel like a No Jumper because of the look, the environment of it. And I want you to talk to us. I mean, you kind of touched on it when we talked before, but now having picked these different spots and moved around, how have you been able to just keep creatively coming up with dope ass backdrops, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
There's so much out there, you know, and sometimes we use the same stuff. And I learn as we go, too, because sometimes you run into situations where it's more difficult to deal with, whether it's the lighting or just the environment, like all these people. Like the one time we got kicked out of that Catholic church for trying to film out there, you know? But no, like...
Well, hold on. You can't just stay over that.
So we were doing...
Tino Cochino.
It was Tino Cochino, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had... so we were... Originally, we were starting right there on Monroe in like 5th Street, right? Because we a lot of our shoots were for a while were at Heritage Square, right? And that's 7th and Monroe. So we were like, there's this really cool church. We actually filmed my uncle. So if you saw the one with Mario Mendeville, that's my uncle, right? Okay. And so we had him on. So where we shot his episode at is this church right there, right? It's right next to the what is it? It's the Herberger, right? Right next to
it's close to the Herberg.
Close to the Herberg, right?
Okay.
The convention center?
The convention, yeah. And so so we knocked his out there. So I was like, okay. So I'm telling Tino, like, yeah, we're going to shoot right over here. It's not going to be a problem because we had filmed there before. I guess that was a good day. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, we're there and we're getting ready to get everything set up, Got question 1 ready. Like, Tino's mic'd up. We're ready to go. You know what I mean? It looks beautiful, right? And then all of a sudden, was it a priest or was it just a man that would work there? I believe
it was like he was a security guard, but looked like he belonged with the church.
Yeah, he came out looking like the CIA, man.
Okay.
Like I thought you were gonna say, like big old priest with a cross comes out, you know, walks out. right. Like no. You guys
Francis comes out. The power of Christ comes through. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, yo. So but this man, so this gentleman comes out and he tells us, you know, like, you know, do you guys have a permit, you know, or something, you know? And I'm like, no. And
he's like, if you don't leave, I'm gonna call the cops.
If you don't leave, then you know, it's we're gonna have to call authorities or something like that. Like real serious, you know. And I was like, And it caught me so off guard because we're like literally like right in the middle, and he just comes up. You know what I mean? And as he's walking, I'm using peripheral now, and it's like I could see someone coming, and it's like this isn't a person who's coming just to
check out
to walk.
Like
he's actually coming to say something, and I'm like, I kind of turn over, you know what I mean, and look at him, and he's just like, so, yeah, man. So we got kicked out of there, and then we just ended up taking Tina. We were gonna go to Heritage, but it was super busy that day. They were doing like construction. It was real loud.
Okay.
So we shot over to Indian Steel Park. But yeah, man, like and then if I don't know if you caught the episode with Joey Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was after question 3.
No, we finished his interview completely, and then got kicked out. But then he wanted to speak on something else, or maybe he didn't finish. How does it feel to? Whatever, he didn't get to like question 5 or something, but we got most of his interview.
We got most of it, yeah. We got most of it, and then this security chick, because we filmed right at the top of the parking garage, right?
Okay,
that's where we shot Javier Soto, Atlas. You know, so it looks really dope up there.
Yeah, for real.
And this security chick came and was like, you know, you guys can't film here unless you got a permit. Da 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 da. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest thing is just the tripods. Like if I wasn't on tripods, people probably wouldn't really notice.
Yeah,
because people take photos around these places all the time. I think I think once you have tripods, you're more noticeable and stuff.
And me keeping the old, you know, like MC mentality of like shooting videos back in the day. The rule was always like, if anybody asks if we're out shooting, it's for a school project.
Yes.
Right.
That was always the go-to. It's for a school project. We go to ASU. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, now you got to say your professors. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They see the little bit of gray on there, like, nah, man.
Man.
Nah, man.
You a born again student.
Right.
I'm a teacher's assistant now.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, man, I got to give you guys your flowers before
Big time,
I
man.
forget
Big
to do
time.
so. I just really do just love your show. Like, there's so many aspects of the way the questions are presented to to the viewer, right? And then it kind of going to that person, whoever you're interviewing, and it's just so beautifully done. I really do. I get so much enjoyment out of watching because it's.
Oh, thanks. Man.
It's like it's like a documentary to me, and it's shot so beautifully and it's so well done. Like you coming out first, and kind of introducing the show, and I love your pauses. There's just so many things about it. I love the way you shoot. Yeah. That is a story in itself.
The walk up,
like it is,
man. The slow motion walk up.
It is incredible, bro.
Come on, man.
Like,
talk
a little
about
bit
it,
jealous of like how you got. I mean, it is phenomenal, and I kind of want to go back to the question because. Of the filming aspect of it, do you ever go, man, I wish I had like a studio to shoot in? Or do you like the actual being out and shooting?
I like both. There's pros and cons to both aspects. I think like when we go out and shoot outdoors, it's pretty easy to set up. But then you deal with the locations, the lighting, making sure all those are good. People. And then with indoors, with the studio session, I got to set up lights and stuff like that. You got to find the spot to do that at, whether it's trill or stuff like that. But I think overall, I just love the look of the outdoors. And it comes just from a photography perspective. Like the more I get into this, the more I'm into photography and filmmaking and stuff like that. The more I pay attention to movies and just other photographers' photos, and that literally inspires me. Just to do what we do, basically.
Yeah. And the editing process, dude, your guys' editing it's crazy. It's so good. It's so good. It's
that, man.
And I would have never really noticed, and I don't think a lot of people do. I just think they go, "Oh, this is pleasing," right?
Yeah.
But when you get into this, like. I'll even notice movies and TV shows now. It's kind of bothersome a little bit because you're like, this is trash. I can't watch this because the editing is so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the shots are like you're like these guys are professional. They know what they're doing. Something on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you see something like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautifully done, man. I just got to give you flowers on how awesome
Thanks, man.
it is.
Thank you
that
very
your guys'
much,
show
man.
is amazing. If nobody's checked it out, they really got to go check it out.
Sleep, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with Jello the other day from Power, and he was saying, he goes, the best example that I can give people if I was to tell them like what Just Give Me Five is like is basically something off of Vice.
Yeah.
He goes, that's how I see it. It's like I'm watching like a show on Vice. He goes, that's how good it is. And I was like, oh man, appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and and then I guess that was, you know, it's if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, right? So it's like if you come in with something already set up, it's like, you know, when the time comes to try to get it picked up or something, we already got it.
And I really think like when I say like needs to be awarded, I really believe maybe not even, you know, actual TV, but this you just nailed it, Vice, right? Or on some type of media platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or something of that nature is
This would be perfect, like on a Netflix.
Man,
dude, I can see your guys' show like on a Netflix
I can
show.
see it. That's where I see it as a viewer, kind of heading, man. And I just think, you know, you guys started something in the middle of a wave, right?
Right.
And you figured out how to do it that it was different than everybody else's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And your guys' vision and your ability to adapt and change and do different things has led to, you know, getting Javier on, which I thought was an incredible.
Yeah, man, I love Javier.
I saw that, I was like,
his energy is contagious, man.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it really is, man.
I thought it was funny because it was like you guys. It almost seemed like you guys damn near grew up together, low key. Like the way that the interview went. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, real good dude, man.
I want to talk about, man, some of the accolades that you guys have. You know, some of the things you guys have been doing. Obviously, you guys had the billboard, which is super dope.
Yeah.
And then you guys had the donut over at the local donut.
Yeah.
Man.
Shout out to Daniel, man. That's the owner of the local donut in Scottsdale. I mean, I'm not just saying this because that's my man. Like, I think they're like literally the best donuts out here, man.
Okay.
They really are good, man.
I respect it.
And so I had approached him because he saw, the way we connected was he saw Lady Law's episode.
Okay.
And so him and Lady Law had a collaboration going on because she has her Mahalo Made, she has her business.
Right.
And so they did a collaboration together, right? And so he saw her episode, really enjoyed it, and then he started following me on Instagram after that. So Chuck at Trill they were doing Dill a Day, and they were having it at Trill.
Right.
So I developed a really good relationship with Ma Dukes and Tony Smith, her husband. So I know the foundation real well through, God rest his soul, my bro Dave New York.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, because that was like Dilla's right hand man.
Right.
And so Dave used to bring me and Rocky Tirade. Shout out to my brother Rocky.
Yeah.
He used to bring us out to L.A. to rock Dilla Day.
Okay.
So we rocked it a couple times, right? Mm-hmm. And met everybody there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because we'd be backstage, we'd be with Dave. So, you know, I remember when he picked us up one time from the airport. It was over, and we flew to Burbank. Me and Rocky, and Dave picks us up and pulls up in his SUV. He had a Tahoe, and when we get in, there's Fat Cat and Guilty Simpson.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? And we're just chilling with them, talking. So Guilty actually came out to Trill probably about a month and a half ago, and we were talking about that time.
That's dope.
And he was like, "I sure do remember that." You know what I mean? And so, they were doing Dill Day at Trill, and there were these donuts that were made, right? And it was this big box, and they had these donuts, and in the donuts it said J Dilla Donuts, but it was like spelled with each donut.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was a glazed donut that had a J on it on top of it. No, the actual was like a Long John. There was a J, you know what I mean? And it's so, I had never seen anything like this, man. Like, it was just incredible. I'll have to get you the picture. And I was like, yo, like, who did these donuts? Like, this is fire. And then Chuck was like, oh, that's my boy Daniel over at the local donut.
Okay.
I was like, he just followed me on Instagram. I was like, Lady Lobs. Okay. You know what I mean? I was
wow.
So damn. I was like, so I hit him. And I was like, yo, like, love what you did, you know, with the donuts and da-da-da. And then we ended up connecting because I was like, you know, I know my Dukes, and I know the, you know, like, I'm cool with the foundation and stuff. And he was like, wow, man, it's such a small world. He's like, when Dilla had passed, this was a long time ago, he's saying, he's like, I was on Twitter, and because he does digital, he does digital art as well. So he did a piece for Dilla, right?
Dope.
And Dave New York retweeted it and shouted him out. So he was like, wow, man. He goes, I feel like there's a connection somehow. He's like, through Dave. He goes, wow. He goes, you knew Dave? Like, I knew Dave very well. I've stayed at his place. Like, that was like my bro. And he's like, wow, man. He goes, and so when we started talking, he was like, and I'm telling him about the show, and he's like, yeah, you know, but because prior to that, he's like, yeah, I love Lady Law's episode. I haven't seen any more, but I'll check them out. I love that you guys are what you're doing. Like, that's awesome. But then when we started talking about Dave, and we started talking about, you know, the whole Dilla situation, after that, he was like, bro, he's like, whatever you want to do, let's do it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? He goes, like, it just really brought us together. You know what I mean? He was so I reached out to him, and well, was it the 1 year anniversary? What did we do? We just did it, huh?
I think we just did it.
We just did it. I was like, well, let's just do a collab. I was like, maybe we should do a collab sometime, and we can, you know, like, maybe we can create a donut. You know what I'm saying? Like, named like after the show somehow, based and everything. He goes, I love it. He goes, let's brainstorm some ideas. So long story short, we started putting everything together. Came up with so there was an ube donut, and it's a Filipino donut. It's made out of sweet potato, and it has like a custard filling inside, right?
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
And so
normally I don't like custard shit, but that
right, yeah. Jimmy was like, yo, this is actually a really good donut. He's like, I know it's our shit, but it's still a really good donut. And so so you know, I was like, you know, let's do like, maybe we do like a purple hand, you know, maybe like a bear claw like kind of look or something, you know. And he was like, yeah. So then he goes, well, we have the ube donut, and that's a real popular item that we sell here. He goes, maybe what we'll do is we'll call it the fube, and it'll, you know, for the F, you know, we'll throw it in the kind of the 5, and then, you know, we'll come up with a marketing, you know, sell them like 2 for $5 or something. You know what I mean? We'll keep the 5 aspect going, and so like we just ended up doing that. Did that one, you know, did really well, man. Like, so, I mean, they were selling out by like 11 a.m.
That's dope.
It was crazy, awesome, man. It was crazy. Yeah. So the 100th episode came up recently, and I approached Daniel, and I was like, yo, like, we got the 100th episode coming up. You know, it'd be dope if maybe we could do another collab, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he's like, of course. So that's like my man now, you know what I'm saying? Like, he loves what me and Jimmy do. Like, he loves the show. It's just no problem now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
I mean, the hand itself, bro, like the way the donut looks is fire. And I wish it wasn't in Scottsdale because, you know, I live all the way in, you know, SoCal, Arizona.
Right,
so,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I want to pull up. I looked at the address. I'm not going to make it, man.
Right. Yeah.
Have you guys thought about doing something like maybe a little bit more permanent as it comes to that with the donut? Have you guys had conversations about maybe keeping it in stock? Or I mean, obviously it's his business, so
yeah.
Have you guys talked about that?
He wants to continue on.
Okay.
Yeah, he was saying, he goes, I know we're doing it on the 23rd, but you know, I might just start bringing it in maybe once a month or something. You know, just kind of keep something going, and because he's like, you know. He's like, for one, I love the connection that we have, you know what I mean, the relationship. He's like, and I want to keep that going, but it's just also on a business note, it's a great seller,
right?
It's a great item. Like, he's like, so I think I might actually just start bringing it Like,
drop
you know
it on the
what
5th of every month, bro. There it is.
that would be
There
dope.
you go.
That would be
There you go.
dope. That would be
I like
dope.
that.
Just give me 5 on 5, you know what I mean?
I like that.
Come on,
I like
man.
that.
Daniel,
I like
man,
that.
where you at, man?
I like
You
that.
hear me, man?
Right? I like it.
I'm pulling up if it's on the 5th, man.
You'll make the trip.
I'm making the trip, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm stepping out.
I'm pulling up.
I like
man.
that. I like that.
So let's
Yeah.
talk about, man, super exciting, man, because you guys are coming up on the 2 years and celebrating December 10th, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And for one, how fucking dope is it?
Oh man, it's just
You know what I mean? How
blessing,
fucking dope
man.
is it to
Yeah.
be here from where you guys started 2 years later?
It's just a blessing, man. I mean, because, you know, people start stuff all the time, man. You know what I mean? And they just don't stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have these great ideas. I've seen it for years, you know, and people got these great ideas, da-da-da. You know, start off cool, and it just disintegrates, you know what I'm saying? And so to see, you know, but I think a lot of it, too, you know, you learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it is ego too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people want that control of situations. Like, some of the individuals I know that have worked on stuff, it's because they have an ego. I love them, but I know that that's exactly what it was. And so that's the unfortunate part, you know, that breaks up a lot of individuals, man, breaks up bands.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you had, you know, it's like the Temptations, man, David Ruffin, I'm the star. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, there goes that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know,
the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, you know what I'm
Shaq
saying?
and Kobe, man, everybody wants to be the hero, man. They want to be that one, you know, that just you know, but it's just all about your intentions, man. And so when you're doing it from the heart, and I've known Jimmy for almost 20 years, man. You know what I mean? And so it's like from the chemistry that we had with music originally. I mean, we've always just meshed so well together. It's like now with what we're doing now, it's just a no-brainer, man. I mean, it makes sense. And so to have that and to keep that consistency going, I mean, it's just beautiful, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
dope.
it's like I mean, you got to understand too. Like when I tell people that we're like on episode 10, I think we're hitting 102 now, right? That's 102 episodes, right? What people don't understand is that it's 102 weeks, man. Like we started this, you know, December 2020, and we did not stop, man. We have literally dropped an episode every single week, man. You know, and when we first started it, you know, I mean, we were all trying to figure out life, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like figure out our day-to-days, man.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, you got this virus that's like killing people, and people da-da-da-da-da, and people are just going all nuts and stuff. So we're trying to adapt at the time with everything going on. So, you know, the news was saying that it was safe to do outside. You know what I'm saying? Like you could film outside. So I was like, all right, cool. What happened to be December when we were starting? If it was July, that might have been a little bit different.
Right.
But, you know, luckily, and see how that works?
Yeah.
See how the universe works? Like, if you think about that, right? What if it was July? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't have worked, man. Like, you know, because it would have been just scorching hot outside.
Yeah, that's true.
We
man.
can't film indoors. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be around people like that. It started in December. It's just a divine event. It started for a reason. You know what I mean? And so we're outdoors. It's nice. We're masking up. I'm like, we'll mask up. We'll try to just social distance much. So it's like, dang, man. Like a lot of the photos, the promo shots, you know, that you see from the early days, like, man, everybody's masked up. But we had to do, man.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I
course.
mean, you know, we still made it work. And so when you go back to that and to see where we're at now, it's like, man, we paid our dues, man. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. So talk to us about this event, where it's at, the times, you know, for the people, man, because I'm definitely gonna put this out before the event so people can see it that want to pull up, support you guys. Where's the event, and what time, from what time to what time?
Well, Saturday, December 10th, it's going to be at Bar Smith.
Okay.
And it's going to be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Music, we'll have a DJ Reflection.
Okay.
There'll be food there from Dom's Barbecue.
Okay.
The homie Dominic has his business going on. And yeah, we'll have merch for sale. It's gonna be a good time, man.
You got the big sizes, man? I need
we'll
the
have
big
some
sizes.
I will have some big sizes.
Put me a 3X on the side, man.
We will have some big
Please,
sizes.
man.
We will.
Okay?
We will.
Put one on the side. I want you to put.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, you got it? All right, cool. I don't want to go searching, man. It's like, all right, Dre, here you go. I got you.
Yeah, man.
I got you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dope, man. So, where do you guys see it, man? What's the next? What is 2023, man? What's the next year look like for you guys?
Man, just just continuously staying consistent, trying to really up ourselves. You know what I mean? You always want to move forward, man. You know what I mean? And so, try to maybe working on getting bigger guests. You know what I'm saying? And just
try to keep that progression that we've had.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It was a good year because we did have a lot of dope guests and like just the way the show's evolving and everything. So,
oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And that's really the goal, man. Just get those sponsorships going up
For
there.
sure,
You know what I mean?
man.
And,
Gotta
like,
get those sponsorships.
we've had people reach out, man. It's been beautiful. And then the New Times did a piece. So that should be out. That should be out pretty soon, also.
Dope.
So that'll be good. Get more notoriety.
Yeah.
Get the word out. So it's great, man.
Fire.
Yeah.
Just staying consistent. I think you hit on that, man.
That's the main
Like, I
thing.
think
That's truly the key to success, man. Like it really is. Like as long as you just, stay consistent, man. Like
and keep improving too, like you said. Like I think you have to improve on yourself. You do. Whether it's camera shots, whether it's questions being asked, where it's being involved a little, whatever it is, right? Like, I always feel like you can always be a little bit better at something, it's just like, okay, let's put a focus on this year, or at least the next couple months, just really try to get this going.
Yeah, I know we've definitely had interviews where I felt like we murdered the interview, and we get done, and I'm like, God damn it. It was one question I wanted to ask, and I did it. You know what I mean? I'm always like trying to work on like that one question I want to ask, making sure I'm hitting it like early. You know what I mean? Just the little things that you try to work on. So
I know we've had guests. You know what I'm saying? That like at the end of the interview, you know what I mean? They'll be like, "Damn, I completely forgot to talk about this." You know, da da da. You know what I mean?
I experienced the same thing with our interview because he sent me the questions and I answered them, but I thought of a million things that could have been more interesting, like stories and stuff to throw in there. So once you do your thing, it's so easy to look back and be like, "Damn, I wish I would have touched it."
Right.
Yeah. Right. And just that in general, right there, man. Like you talk about progression, like. Just seeing Jimmy on the other side of the camera, you know what I'm saying? Like that right there is just that's beautiful, man. Because like we go back so far, man. It's like Jimmy was always just the behind the scenes guy. He was the engineer, he was the producer,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And I was the artist. You got to be out, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And so it's just beautiful to see that, man. That's why like when we did that episode, that's why episode 100 was just a little extra special because it was us. And like, my bro here, man, got to share his story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love it, man.
Dope.
Well,
I'm not going to let y'all get out of here, you know what I'm saying, without giving y'all 5. You know what I'm saying? So this is the Gray Space edition of Just Give Me 5, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to give you guys 5 questions.
Okay.
But the 5 questions are top 5s, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay.
First question. Top 5 guests that you would like to interview, still alive.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's a good question, man.
And it could be anybody. It could be celebrities. It could be non-celebrity. It could be anybody.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, man.
I don't know. Like, part of me automatically goes to someone who's like kind of celebrity status but reachable.
Okay.
Someone that's like, for example, George Benson. I think he lives in Arizona. I'm a huge jazz person.
Okay.
That'd be
that
good.
would be dope. I think. Something like
that. Man. Definitely CeCe Peniston.
Okay.
Definitely CeCe Peniston. Adina Howard would be great.
Dope.
Because people don't realize, like, Adina's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, but she went to Dobson High School.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, so she's been out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still gotta get Al McCoy.
Got to get Al McCoy. Oh my goodness! So we reached out to Al McCoy last year, and through shout out to my boy Bobby, man. Like he was able to make that connect, and God, man, I spoke to him on the phone and everything, and he was interested. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, it was like the Suns were in the finals. You know what I mean? And so he was just super busy, and then we just kind of it just ended there. Like I haven't really, and now the season's back up, and I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But God, Al McCoy for sure, man. Like that's just God. It'll happen. It'll happen. I'm gonna manifest it.
So that's 4.
That's
one
4.
more.
And what's one more you could think
Who
of?
you got, Jimmy?
Who else have we've had a list. I'm trying to think. Man, I mean, if we were to go because we've gone to Cali and stuff, it would be cool to go to New York.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool
interview
to see.
some type of legend.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Master Ace through the
Skype,
phone.
yeah.
See, I was just saying local stuff. I mean, you want me to? Yeah, there's a ton of individuals that I want to get on. You know what I mean? Yeah, New York would be great, of course. You know, who's one in New York that you would think of?
Just a random name, Q-Tip. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you
That'd
know,
be
like
fire.
any hip hop legend, DJ Premier. Like from a producer point of view, obviously, I wouldn't.
Right.
Crazy.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many.
Yeah.
You
I
what
know.
I mean?
I knew it was gonna stump y'all a little bit.
Yeah. That was a good
So
question.
now I'm about to stump y'all again because
All right.
I'm asking the same question, but not on this earth anymore.
Find people not on this earth.
Man, Prince.
Okay.
Man, that would be such a fire.
And he doesn't do a lot.
I know. That would
And
be
you would,
fire.
and you would,
dude.
it would have to be like a really, really good approach because he don't play. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like it's like unless I mean, he even gave Larry King the business. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
So Prince would be one. What about you?
I was almost going to say Miles Davis, but I know he's a dick, so he wouldn't be probably.
Yeah, I've heard, man.
I'm a big Miles Davis fan. Maybe one of those jazz legends, John Coltrane,
Okay.
That's always the shitty part too,
Chick
man.
Corea.
They always say like never meet your heroes. You know what I mean?
Right.
They do,
We've lost people that we met. You know what I mean? Not just me in general. Like that's the only thing that sucks. You gotta look out for that. But God dang, Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and it would be dope. And it'd be Tupac now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
it'd be
not saying
Tupac
that-
at 50 years old.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not the 25-year-old kid, man.
Right.
And that's what I always tell people all the time, man, like, they get so hard on Pac. It's like they forget that he was a kid.
Right.
Kid.
He was 25 years old when
Right.
he died, man. This kid,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like, 4 years just shy of 21.
Yeah.
Like, he was a kid, dude. Like, so, but even that being 25 years old, the stuff that he accomplished was more than most people will ever do in 7 lifetimes.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd be a good
from
one too,
everything.
man.
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing to have him now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Go ahead, Jim.
got 2 more.
God, I can't think. Robin Williams.
Oh,
Man, that'd be so
Yes.
energetic, man. That'd be nuts.
You could draw a lot out of him, like
So
Oh.
much, man.
whether it's stories or just like inspiration.
And especially like just how the
outlook.
way you guys do it, right? Like
Yeah.
asking him that question, you'd probably have like an hour of footage just off of one question,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
You'd probably just go off.
Absolutely, man.
got 1 more.
Whitney Houston.
Okay.
Whitney Houston. She's by far, in my opinion, the greatest female vocalist of all time.
Hands down.
Hands
Of
down.
all time.
Yeah.
A lot of people throw Mariah in there, and I get it. Mariah wrote for her too. I understand that, but no.
I gotta tell you, man. So there's this kid I work with, man. Young kid. I mean, I think he's like maybe 22.
Okay.
And I said, I was joking around, and I was like, "Hey, man, you know, you're a good worker, man. And I always love you, man, like Whitney Houston." And he was like, "Who?" Man.
Oh, man.
You fired
That's
now.
fighting
man.
words, man.
I fired him on the spot.
Oh my goodness, man.
Nah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And
Like, you gotta give me 5 minutes for that one.
Yeah.
right.
No, Whitney, obviously, man, is
Whitney, man.
the GOAT, man.
You know, because and it's so multi-talented, man. Like I was watching The Bodyguard the other day on Netflix, and it was like just so talented, man.
You gonna peep the movie?
Oh yeah, the
one that's coming out?
Yeah.
good.
I watched the one that they had, and I was on a plane to St. Louis. I remember it was like in 2018.
Oh, that was
And
the
it was,
Lifetime joint.
Yeah, they had that one, and it was called Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was deep, man. I didn't know. You know, it's just so unfortunate, man, because you understand like where a lot of her habits developed from,
Right.
the trauma she went through at a young
Right.
age. But man, my favorite record of hers of all time, and this was her first record, is "You Give Good Love." I mean, that record is just perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and Kashif, rest in peace, produced it for her, and I mean, it's just perfect. And the beauty about that, especially the video too, because it's so 1980s. I mean, it came out in like '86, and you just see like that young innocent girl, man, that's just there, and it's just like had no idea that the world was going to come at her that fast.
Right.
But at that moment, it was like just pure joy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had Alex Santamaria on the show.
I remember that.
And he had that really good Whitney Houston story.
Yeah, that was a great
That
story.
was a beautiful
That
story.
was a great
Sometimes I'll
story.
go back just to watch that clip. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, that would be great.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right, my third one. Top 5 donuts. I want you both to give me
Hey, dog, the food
We went real deep, man. But this is donuts, man.
I'm a chocolate eclair guy.
Okay.
Yeah, love the eclairs. For Boston, was it the Boston eclair? Wait, Boston eclair?
I think there's actually two different.
There's two different ones.
I think that's two different ones, dude.
Yeah, Boston cream or something.
Yeah.
One-
Okay.
one of those. Yeah.
Crumb donut. I like the plain shit. So crumb donuts. And then,
Like the old fashioned.
yeah.
Glaze.
And now I gotta say the ube donut. That was actually
Yeah, man.
Like,
Okay.
whatever they use to
I'm
make that
telling you,
stuff's
man,
good.
it's like it's legitimately, and they're warm. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd say like, God.
I only got like vanilla sprinkle. That's it. I
I gotta go old school. Maple Long John.
Okay.
Maple
Okay.
Long John.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I remember going with my grandma, going to Rainbow Donuts right there
Okay.
on McDowell 12th Street, man,
Yep.
and copping them. Yeah, Maple Long John.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be getting the ones now, man, that got the cereal on them.
Oh, like the Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity
and stuff?
Pebbles
Crazy,
and all that.
man.
Yeah, they be having those at the local donut.
When you get those, man, when I
Yeah.
started doing those, I was like, man, this is life.
The first time I experienced that was in Texas. It was
Okay.
for South by Southwest, I remember, and it was Voodoo Donut.
Okay.
And then, but that originally, no, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? No, I'm sorry. No, it was in Portland.
Okay.
That's where they originated at. And me and Mega Ran were on tour with Mouse Pal and DN3. It was 2012. We called it the Campaign Tour. And we were in Portland, Oregon, and that's where Voodoo Donut originated. And I remember Brand was like, yo, dawg, like, they have, like, Honey Nut Cheerio donuts. Like, this place is crazy. He's like, we got to check it out. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. Blew my mind. I was
Crazy.
like, this is ridiculous. Fruity Pebbles donut.
Man, first
but
time
that was
I
the
had
first time, you know what I mean?
what was it? Oreo donut? I was like, man,
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
this is life, man.
Yeah, they had the Cookie Monster joint. And then
The
there's
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, man.
and then we got one in like on Price
Okay.
and I forgot the name of the spot.
I know what you're talking about.
It's
too.
off the freeway
off the
right there,
101, yeah.
kind of by where like they used to do like Club Red and Red Owl back in the day.
Okay.
It's literally in that same plaza. There's a Jack in the Box there.
Okay.
God, I forgot the name of that place, man. But they have those kind of donuts in there. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
They're bomb.
I'm feeling diabetic after this conversation.
right.
I'm with Jimmy though. I prefer like a little bit more of on the plain side. Although I do agree, like some of
Just
those
every
like
once in a while, man.
yeah, because those are a lot,
Just
man.
every once
That's
in a
like
while.
a meal
Man.
for like
It's a meal. Like, you're not having lunch. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna
Right.
eat the donut and then you go about your day.
yeah, and you ain't
Right.
eat nothing till
You know what I
dinner
mean?
time, man.
Nothing.
Like it's because it's
Right.
so.
You might even split
So
it in
much.
half.
It's like Lolo's,
Come
man.
on to it.
No, you can't split that shit in half. Dude.
Come
What
on,
are you
man.
talking about,
Cut it in
man?
half, man. You have breakfast in the noon. You know what I'm saying?
First breakfast, second breakfast.
It's like eating Lolo's, man. I can only do that like once a year now.
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure.
Oh, it's
Yep.
just so much. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love fried chicken though, but like it's just so much, man. And the Kool-Aid,
Oh, man.
it's crazy,
Put
man.
you to sleep.
Put you to sleep, man.
Every goddamn time, man.
Every time.
My fourth question. Top 5 locations. I think you named one already, but top 5 locations you guys would like to shoot from.
Damn, that's
Within the state or anywhere?
Anywhere.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
jeez.
I think you said New York once, so
Yeah.
Where in New York though?
oh jeez,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Central
Central
Park, Washington Square.
Or on like a rooftop
Okay.
overlooking the whole city.
That would be
Like Brooklyn or
fire,
something.
dude.
Yeah.
That would-
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would
You'd have to
be
get
fire.
lucky with lighting, but it'd look dope.
Yeah, man. Shit, locally the Grand Canyon would be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That'd be dope. We do like an intro, outro there sometime, maybe
Yeah.
or something. You know what I mean?
We talked about Sedona before doing something. like
Sedona.
Sedona would be a good
Yeah,
one
the
too.
Red
for
Rock.
sure.
You know.
that. I
Okay.
go there all the time because I film weddings out there. Like half my weddings are out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iceland.
Really?
No, I just.
Right.
I think it would be dope.
Hey,
to
man,
go
don't
there
stop me,
for
man.
shit
Like,
there.
nah,
Right.
let's go.
But
Right.
Iceland is fire, though, dude.
Yeah.
I think I got great
man.
scenery, though.
That
no
is
kidding.
funny
what I
you
mean.
said
That's
that
what I
though,
mean.
because I legit just watched a documentary on Iceland.
okay.
Man,
Like
great.
2 days ago, and the locations are
It's ridiculous.
absolutely
I
stunning.
was
I'm like,
actually, I just
ridiculous.
missed out. I was gonna go to this. It was like a photography workshop from this dude I follow. It was gonna be like a thing where they have like 8 or 10 people go out there all together, and you have like the people running it. And it's basically like photo shoots and stuff like that, but out there, and you're learning from them and stuff. I was gonna go on it, but then tickets sold out. So
Right. Right.
man, that would be pretty dope to do.
I think y'all, what, one more? You guys got to go what?
Well, as far as like, I think my favorite, my personal favorite that we've done so far, I'll say, is Sunset Cliffs, man, in San Diego.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, man, we did R Dubs there, right, and then Jabba One.
it was Jabba One when we filmed. the
Yeah.
Sunset.
Oh man, like that location was.
It was a nice
beautiful.
overcast day. Too,
Oh
so.
yeah, man.
San Diego's got some great locations.
It's
though,
just
man.
beautiful.
It's
San
just,
Diego's
man,
just fire.
can't lose,
That's
right?
why it's so damn expensive.
Yeah.
It's just
Right?
fire.
It's just- right.
But now Arizona's almost as expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost
We're
like
like
an excuse
we're
to
a
move to
metropolitan California now.
You know,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah, it's
Legit.
Yeah, they creeped
give it
in.
another like 5 years.
I'm so glad I got here when I got here, man, because I was like,
Right.
God damn.
It's ridiculous.
Last question, man.
Drum roll.
Top 5 times you guys felt special and extremely loved.
Oh man. Well, this is one of them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
That's my
Real
first
love.
answer.
Shit, when we put out our music, you know, just putting out music, and
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got a deal in Japan,
Yeah.
River City Records. Had the album in Tower Records. I mean, that was beautiful. You know what I mean?
Now more than anything, just people showing love for the show, really.
Showing love for
Our
the
guests
show.
and stuff.
Yeah, man. You know, just getting that. Yeah, man. People. You know, it's like, yeah, it's great, man. It's like, and a lot of them, like even in the interviews, you know, they'll thank us, you know, like for even having the platform
Yeah.
to bring them out. Because, you know, it's like, it's just for me, it's just a real selfless act. You know,
Yeah.
like, I was an MC for so long, and naturally you're a narcissist when you're an MC because
have to be.
You have to be, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just you have to get yourself out there. It's listen to me, listen to what I can do, right?
Right.
So when you step back and you do something like this, it's very selfless. Now it's like I'm. That's why you only see me twice in the episode. I'm in
Right.
the beginning and I'm in the end. It's not about me. It's for the guests. It's them. It's their light.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so you know, just the people showing us love and the gratitude. I mean, that's all we need. You know what I mean?
Dope. Well, thank you, fellas, for
you guys.
pulling up.
Appreciate you.
Very, very glad to see you guys, man. I mean, I talk to him about you guys. We talk about you guys all the time, man. Like, so much admiration for what you guys are doing. Really love the show. Really, really love the show.
Nice, thank you, man.
And I really, I'm pulling for y'all, man. And some of the other stuff you guys are doing as well, as far as some of the little performances, the small performances that
the
you
live
guys
rendition.
are,
So that's another thing we do as well. You know,
Yep.
we're trying to get those once a month. They're just, it's tough.
It's tough to
man.
get people together.
It's tough,
especially
You
with
gotta-
bands
a
and
band,
stuff like
you
that.
know,
Lot of
it's
setup.
It's
Yeah.
a lot, man. You know, and those
It's a big
take about
production.
6, close to like 5 hours to shoot.
Just
you know what I
setting up a band is, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we come from the
I mean, these are
engineering world,
these
too,
are
so-
professionals. You know what I'm saying? Like they're once they're there, it's we're on point.
Yeah.
Right.
But it still takes a while. You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We're looking forward to it, man. Pulling for y'all, man. Keep up the great work.
Likewise.
Thank you. And make sure you guys pull up December 10th at the Barsmith, 1 to 4. Food. I'm getting my 3X. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to say Dave Miranda with the purple right here somewhere. Okay? Man, shout out to Just Give Me 5, man. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jimmy.
You got him, brother.
Appreciate
Thank you,
y'all.
Thank you guys so
Thank you,
much
man.
for coming through again. Everything he said, man. Love your guys' show. I can't get enough of it. I can't wait to see where you guys are going to go. It's super exciting. Like you said, man, we're always pulling for you. And, man, exciting times, man. And,
should.
man, hopefully we'll see you guys next year.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Anyways, you guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And as always, this is The Gray Space. Peace.
Peace.